Today we're going to be putting in a Schroth 4-point QuickFit harness in the R53 Mini. So the first question you guys are probably asking is, why is the harness blue? And there's a very good reason for that. I bought it used because I found a perfectly good one online. A guy had only used it on the track a few times and then he sold his car. And I got this for $160, which is $100 cheaper than a brand new one. So while yes, I would much rather have a red or black harness in my car that is mostly red or black, I don't really care that it's blue. You cannot see the little harness straps that we're going to be adding in when the harness is not in the car. That'll make a little bit more sense when we put it in. So really, you're only going to see this harness when I'm on track or at an autocross event, and I'm going to care a lot more about that $100 I saved that I could use for getting stainless steel brake lines or some other modification for the car than I do about the fact that the color is not right. So really, not a big deal. Happy to save $100. Plus, the guy that I met was really nice. He was great to talk to, gave me some helpful tips about what to do to the car before we take it on track. The way this QuickFit harness works is you install it once, and you're going to use two hard points. The front hard point over here is going to go to where your seatbelt mounts, and the one in the back is going to go to where the back seatbelt mounts. And then the other two sides, this one right here and the same one on the back, are going to use the inside seatbelt connectors, so you can easily snap it in and out of the car. So it disconnects here and it disconnects in the back at the same point, and that way you can take the whole harness out and only take it with you to track events. And the only thing that's going to be in your car for daily use is this little itty bitty tiny extension right over here on the side. So all you have to do on the Mini to get to these bolts is move the driver's seat all the way forward, and you'll have access to the front seatbelt mounting point, and you'll have to pop out the rear seats, which if you've ever done that on a Mini is so easy. So we're going to go over how I did that in just a second, and then we'll get this fitted in the car, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense to you. So we have the rear seats out of the car, and the way you're going to do that is fold the two rear seats forward, and then you're going to undo a 10mm bolt that's right here. And once that bolt is out of the way, you can push this forward. So you're going to push from the top and push that forward, and that'll allow the two hooks here that attach the seats to pop up and out. So one bolt, push that forward, both seats can come out. Now mine was pretty stuck, so I did have to spray it with some WD-40 once it was out. It was a little bit difficult to get it up the first time. And then you can see over here on the passenger side, the little connector that holds the other side of the seat in. It looks a lot like a Nissan emblem, where it is a circle with two extensions on either side. If you hold the seat at about a 45-degree angle, it'll pop out of this hole here, and then you can lift the seats out. So you can take both back seats out separately. To remove the front part of a seat, you're going to reach up, grab the front of the seat and pull straight up. It'll remove off of a pin here on the passenger side, and the same on the driver. And then if you have the baby seat connections, which my car does, there's 4 little clips back here, so you just pull the cushion vent straight forward and it'll all pop off. It's very easy to get off. One bolt and you can remove the entire back seat. It takes just a couple minutes. So really, for autocross and track events, I might actually take these out of a car. It doesn't really remove that much weight, but it gives me a lot more room to get items in here. So if you're making a really big trip to the hardware store or something like that, it might be a good idea to go ahead and take the rear seats out just for the extra room. But the main reason we removed all of that is we're trying to get to this bolt right here, which uses a T50 Torx bit. It's the same for the front belt, which is just off the screen right up there. And we're going to remove both of those and then attach in our harness. So here is the little mini seat belt. This is what is going to stay in the car at all times. Now this rear bracket here is normally flat. You have to put a bend into it, which the instructions cover that. But I don't have to do that myself. Here, he did it for me when he installed it in his own car. So this is going to lay right flat against the panel. You're going to put in the bolt, and then this will stay in the car at all times, and then we can just hook into this little seatbelt buckle with the harness when we're at an event. And with the driver's side seat all the way forward, you have easy access to the seatbelt right down here. It's the same T50 bolt. And then here we have our front little stubby seatbelt. Again, we've got the bracket slightly bent, so it's going to sit just like this behind the seatbelt, and I'll put it slightly forward of where the seatbelt sits, and it'll be exactly like the rear. So all we have to do is torque each of those bolts down, and then we can put everything back to the way it was supposed to be, and we can hook up the harness and go ahead and get it test fitted to our body size. So you can see our other belt hidden back there, so it'll tuck in between the seats. You'll barely even notice it sitting there. And then we have the other one down here by the driver's seat, so it can just flop down under the seat. You won't notice it there, and we can pull it out when we need it. So now we just need to install the belt and make sure everything fits us nicely, so when we install it the next time, it'll be ready to go. The first thing I'm going to do is raise up the driver's side headrest and slide the harness halfway through it, so that way that I can go ahead and hook up to two back posts, and then we can hook up the front post and adjust the waist length on the harness. So hopefully by now this is making sense. On the right side, it's using both of the regular seatbelt hookups, and on the left side we put in those two extra connections so we can hook up with the two clips on the harness, and now we have a normal 4-point harness sitting in the seat. I just need to adjust the waist and the height to make sure that it fits me properly. Now I'm assuming it's going to be pretty close because this one's used, someone already adjusted it for their car. I'm pretty average size, I would think. Alright, so getting into the car was super easy. One of the things you want to make sure you do when you're setting this up is pull it as tight as you can possibly get it across your lap. You want the belt centered, and you want it as tight as you possibly can on your lap with the shoulder straps extremely loose. Tighten those second, because if you tighten those first, it's going to pull the strap really high up on your waist, and it's going to be sitting on your stomach and not on your hips, which is what you want. You want it tight across your hips to hold you down in the seat, and then the shoulder straps hold you back in the seat afterwards. The thing about this 4-point harness which makes it viable is it has an anti-submarine strap on the top right corner, and what that does is it has a little bit of extra fabric there that in a high impact crash it's going to break loose and allow your right shoulder to come forward just a little bit and keep you from submarining under the belt, causing serious injury. So it's extremely safe. It is street legal, so I could use it like this all the time if I want to. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to use it at track and autocross events and maybe on a country road if I go on a designated drive, but I'm not going to use this every day. Once you have the belt all tight in your seating position where you want it, make sure you can fully depress the clutch pedal and you're not reaching. Make sure you can reach all of your controls. You can change into all the gears without issue. You don't want to find out that on track something happens and you can't reach something because your belt is too tight. Overall, I am extremely happy with this purchase. I love that I can go ahead and install in the car. Everything is ready to go exactly how I need it, and when I get to an event, it'll take me literally 1 minute to get this set up in the car and I'll be ready to go. If you're curious, they do make these for other cars. They make them for the Minis. They make them for common BMWs from the E36 up to the E90 M3, so anything in that range, including the E39. They make them for the Jeep Wrangler, the Ford Mustang, and then common Audis and VWs. So they've got a lot of different options for common cars that people are going to take to track days. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.